Hello, I am Peculiar Lefty and you're watching the 31 Days of Horror. Today I'll be talking about Under the Skin, starring Scarlett Johansson, directed by Jonathan Glazer. Before I start, let's get the obvious thing out of the way. Yes, Scarlett Johansson is in this film. Yes, she does do several nude scenes. If that's the reason why you want to watch the film, go ahead. It's as valid a reason as any. But I think the film got a lot of publicity from that fact, and not much from the quality of the film itself, which is what people really should have been talking about. Basically the plot goes like this. Scarlett Johansson plays Italy, an alien who picks up random men, takes them back to a kind of sci-fi tar pit, and then something happens. They die, I think. It's weird. It's been several years since I saw the film, so maybe I'm just forgetting something, but I'm pretty sure it's never explained exactly why Italy is picking up these men, or what happens to them when she gets them home. In fact, the only reason I'm referring to her as Italy is that that's her name in the book, by Michel Faber. In Jonathan Glazer's adaptation, Johansson's character, so far as I remember, isn't named at all. So Under the Skin, in many ways, is confusing. Nothing gets explained. The story, such as it is very impressionistic, and there's really not any resolution at the end. One thing you can say about Under the Skin, though, is that it's creepy. Right, that's why I'm talking about it in the 31 Days of Horror. The scenes where Italy leads these random men into this kind of liquid alien pool of fuckery are just so weird in the most sinister way. You've got these blokes who think they're going to get laid, walking seemingly like unconsciously, like they've been hypnotised into what I can best describe as a carnivorous swimming pool, then getting like hollowed out while submerged in this liquid, like their insides have disappeared and all that's left is their skin, while above them, like just walking across the surface of the pool, Italy just walks on, completely unresponsive, like it's another day for her. It's the kind of thing that nightmares are made of. Sexy, experimental, art house nightmares. And there's a sort of cold detachment in the camera work, as if you're seeing everything through Italy's eyes. So everything the audience sees is as if filtered through this inhuman, literally inhuman perspective. And that's the root of what makes Under the Skin so divisive. The fact that there isn't really a relatable human protagonist for the audience to latch onto and to serve as their sort of surrogate in the film. You're just left with this completely alien in the most obvious of senses, but also in terms of in every other way that a person can be alien character. And there's this uncanny aspect to the whole thing, because you're essentially being placed in the shoes of a being whose consciousness, whose very mode of being is utterly alien to us. And yet she looks human. She looks, in fact, like a human that you recognise. You've seen her in films, on posters, on TV, so Johansson's face is familiar to the audience, which makes it even more disturbing that she's playing this thing. It's real invasion of the body snatcher stuff. And Johansson's performance is a big part of that. See, the roles she tends to play are these like relatable, likeable female leads, and she's always been good at conveying the warmth and humanity that makes you sympathise with a character. In Under the Skin, though, she's been cast as completely the opposite, this cold, detached, affectless alien, and she plays it perfectly. You could not ask for a role more different than the standard Scarlett Johansson role, and yet she does it like that. It's like she's not even acting, like she just is Italy. If you've ever doubted at all that Scarlett Johansson is a seriously talented actor, watch Under the Skin. So you've got this incredibly sexy, incredibly creepy, incredibly well-made film. But on top of that, you have these abstract visual passages that are just fabulous. This kind of, I don't even know what it's supposed to represent exactly, but these pure film moments without any relation to story, character, all the standard narrative things that you find in a film. It's pure visuals, almost like a Jackson Pollock painting, but it's moving, it's alive, it captures that energy. And on top of that, you've got the fantastic performance from Johansson, and it's all wrapped up into this cold, stylized, yet somehow compelling and in parts deeply moving package. I really like this film, as you can probably tell. I would definitely recommend it if you're looking for a less straightforward, less stereotypically horror-y film. But I can still see why people don't like it. I get that it can be kind of hard to get into. It's very distant. It doesn't really reach out to the audience and give you a reason to be invested in it. But hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes films ask things of us, and that's good. It's the difference between being an active viewer and this sort of passive consumer of images. So yeah, that's all for today, folks. Feel free to leave feedback. Have you seen Under the Skin? Did you like it? Did you love it? Is there anything you didn't like about this video? And come back tomorrow for yet more of my opinions based on vague recollections of films I saw years ago. Thank you and good night.